Hello and welcome back to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Dumbest Moments of the Week. Well, we've got quite the issue and story to talk about regarding Alex today. As you might have guessed by the title of this video, Alex Cortez is once again defending the violent protesters and terrible demonstrators who have been plaguing this nation for most of the summer now. That's right, she's doing what she can to make sure they don't get in trouble. She wants to defend them. She wants to stop them from getting arrested, all that fun stuff. We're going to talk about it today. And basically what happened was a video was shared recently, a video showing some of them getting arrested. They were getting put into a van because they committed crimes or at least were suspected of doing so. I'm sure the police had good reason. I'm sure they had saw people, breaking stuff or setting something on fire, which is what's happened over and over again. And they went to arrest them. And now we've got a response from AOC saying that wasn't cool. You can't arrest people. What are you doing? You're breaking their rights. And it's just a totally ridiculous premise. Like, obviously she's wrong. Obviously we should be arresting people that break the law. But it just goes to show, like, that's really what they want. They don't want you to arrest criminals. They want these criminals to get away. And as long as it's their preferred criminals, like if it's like the minorities or people like supporting them, if it's Democrats, if it's BLM or Antifa, the left will defend that. They're going to defend them no matter what, even if they do the worst things possible. Like, they've already defended far worse. They defend criminals and killers and these people that get arrested. They're on drugs. They had held hostages before, like, you name it. They've defended some of the worst people ever. And that's basically the case for today. So we're going to get to it real soon. We're going to check out a video on Alex's tweet. But first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. Hey guys, in this day and age with things being so dramatic and so life or death out there in the world today, there's been no better time to ask our Savior, Jesus Christ, for a little bit of help. And there's an awesome way to honor Jesus by getting this really cool coin from the Christ shop. The 2020 Christ the Last Supper coin is also having a giveaway, so you can get yours today for free. All you have to do is cover the shipping cost. But make sure you check it out soon, because this free offer is only going to be available while supplies last. So like I said, click that exclusive link below this video to get your free Jesus coin and support the show while you do it. Thanks for your time, and now back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's get to the AOC tweet in question. It comes from this one right here. It says, AOC, our civil liberties are on brink. This is not a drill. There is no excuse for snatching women off the street and throwing them into unmarked vans. To not protect our rights is to give them away. It is our responsibility to resist authoritarianism. So right before that, we don't even need to see the video yet. We'll check it out soon, but our liberties are on brink. So she's pretending to care about our liberties and freedoms and rights when it's clear that she doesn't she doesn't care about tech censorship. She acts like, oh, conservatives aren't censored. They're just taking away hate speech. So it's just, that doesn't match up. That doesn't mesh with the rest of her platform. And then the next part is, this is not a drill. Yeah, I know it's not a drill. It's not a power drill. This is a video, lady. Come on. We all know that. But yeah, sarcasm aside, this next line really doesn't make sense. She says, there's no excuse for snatching women off the street and throwing them in unmarked vans. Actually, there's a lot of excuses for that. For example, if they're breaking the law, you're allowed to arrest them, and you're supposed to arrest them. We should want to arrest them. Now, I don't know why this needs to be qualified as women. Like, I don't know. It seems like she thinks women should get special treatment, like they shouldn't be arrested or something. Like, that's what that implies to me. I know really she's probably just using that term to get herself like more sympathy or something, like, oh, Democrats think if they label someone they are trying to paint as a victim, if they label them a woman or a minority, that gets them more sympathy. It doesn't work on me. I guess it works on their base and a lot of people who aren't thinking twice. And just, you got to know that they're not really trying to help. They're not really here to help women or minorities. They're just using them as pawns in their little chess game that's politics. And the next thing is, yes, the excuse is there. Like, if you commit a crime, you should get arrested. I don't care what kind of van it is. I don't care what kind of car the cops are driving. It could be unmarked van. It could be a Toyota. It could be a clown car. It could be a taxi. They could call an Uber. They could go throw the criminal in the Uber, whichever it may be. I don't really care. It's just ridiculous to say there's no excuse. And the next part is, To protect our rights is to give them away. It is our responsibility to resist authoritarianism. So I'm not sure if she knows what that means. I mean, this chick doesn't know what a garbage disposal is. I doubt she can define authoritarianism. I think she just throws that word out there because it sounds like she's smart and it's a big word. But really, she's just saying she wants to resist the cops and authority. Authority I get. Like she wants to resist authority, but I mean, that just means she wants chaos. She doesn't want the law enforcement. She wants to defund them. And I don't know, she wants to be in charge. She thinks she could police people better. Really ridiculous. I mean, she can barely even form coherent sentences. She can't get a bill passed to save her life. I mean, this is the same chick who does silly live streams while drinking wine in her little apartment. I mean, she's not the smartest person, so I don't see why she thinks she could be in charge of this stuff any better. But regardless, she's saying that. And then, to protect our rights, if we don't protect our rights, it gives them away. I guess that could be true, but there isn't a right that's being broken here. You don't have a right to break the law. Like she's basically saying she doesn't want these protesters to be arrested, but it's just ridiculous. So with that said, let's go ahead and check the video now, and then we'll talk about it more. Yeah, this is typical. I mean, I saw that the skateboard flew, and this was someone that was skating in the street. I mean, the most you could say there is like they shouldn't be in the middle of the street. Like that's a possible law break. But it's hard to say because these kinds of videos, this is pretty typical. Like they don't show you what happened beforehand. They just show you the arrest and they try to act like, oh, these cops are terrible for arresting someone. Look how bad they arrested them. It's like, well, what did that person do beforehand? Because I'm pretty sure like most of the time in these cases, you see that they did something, like there was something bad and it was like very apparent. Like they cut it off. They show you just the arrest because they want you to hate the cops and not think about, oh, this person, what if this person just, murdered a baby before the shot? Like, what if they just, twisted someone's head off or, spit in the face of a elderly, crippled minority LGBT person? They could have done all kinds of bad things before this video started. So right there, it's just a biased thing already. And it's just them trying to paint this picture of like fascism and authoritarianism, and they say unmarked vans, like it's just so, oh, they're disappearing people, which is pretty rich too, like because these are the same people that support communist China. Communist China are the ones that are actually the authoritarians and the fascist kind of people. They're ruling their country over with like an iron fist. They have internment camps for the Uyghur people, which is like a race within China that they're putting off to another place and like imprisoning them. They disappear reporters and stuff all the time there, but these guys defend China. These are the same kinds of leftists who defend that Far East nation. And then they want to call us out for arresting a few terrible protesters who are blocking traffic and breaking the crime all throughout these cities. Like our country's in chaos. We need more cops and more arrests to happen. I mean, sure, maybe they're innocent. Let's get the law involved. Let's get them lawyers and stuff, but at least get them off the streets. I don't really see the bad part of that. I love how the violent protesters are filming it like they're catching something. And then that's actually what happened. I mean, they have these dum-dums like AOC, and this was tweeted by the ACLU. Like they post this and they think it makes the cops look bad, but I just think it makes the protesters look bad. I think we're in a two movie situation. Like we're looking at a movie here and we're both seeing totally different stories. And yeah, I see the cops protecting these agents who are putting this possible criminal into the backseat of this car. Like, yeah, it's an unmarked car. Like, who cares? Like, that's what they have to do here. Like, if you have a police car, protesters are going to go smash that. So it's better to be a little undercover sometimes. I don't see the problem there. And then I see the cops defending the situation. They've got their bikes up. I really like how they use their bikes as these sorts of shields. That's just a cool little method. And I think that looks badass to me. And obviously this is in New York. I could tell that's a New York license plate right there. The black and yellow is very prominent colors that come from that state, I think, unless there's another one that's similar. And yeah, I just love how this person's filming right there. And this is just typical leftists. Like they think they're filming something and exposing them, but really they're exposing themselves. I mean, look at all the chaos in this video. Look at all the people, like all these people in the streets. They're crowding over at these cops. Like, oh yeah, they're going to take back the person that's getting arrested. So these guys are breaking the law too. Like there's just so many infringements here. I don't get how this can be defended. I don't get how AOC thinks this is okay. Oh, we got to help these protesters. Well, That's the problem. And the real issue is these are Biden voters. These are all Democratic voters. And that's why the left is defending them so hard. They want to defend their base. And if they went after criminals and they called out minorities, they would never get elected. I mean, that's their whole point. That's their whole base. So they just have to pander to them. And it's just really tough to watch. And, you know, it's really hypocritical and bad. I hate to see it.
Communist, we take. In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may...
Yeah, I think these responses are pretty good. Stick says, how dare the law be enforced? Sit down, citizens are being kidnapped. It wasn't an arrest, it was an abduction. Just totally absurd. Like, these left people just reframe it in the most silly way. It's like not a kidnapping. If you're out in the streets with a riot and you're doing illegal things, the cops have a right to arrest you. They should. My family didn't leave USSR to be faced with another secret police land of the free. Vote out the GOP this November. You realize this was NYPD, right? Who's the mayor of New York City? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. How do they blame Trump for this? That's the whole thing. It's so ridiculous. They want to blame the conservatives, but it's like, yeah, this is NYPD. This is people in New York. The mayor of New York is de Blasio. The city's been run by Democrats forever. The governor of the state is Democrat too. So, I mean, these are Democrats arresting Democrats, and then they're also complaining about it and calling themselves fascists. And then they want to like have this switcheroo at the end. It's like, oh yeah, those cops weren't Democrats. Those were the Republican ones. Those are white supremacists. It's totally insane. With all that said, that about wraps things up. I hope you enjoyed this episode of AOC's Dumbest Moments of the Week. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Tell me what you think about these arrests, these chaotic events happening in New York and other places. And also subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, have a great day.